And welcome, ladies and gentlemen, here to Eller Media Stadium, Game 3 of the three-game series between Boise State and UNLV. Count right now is 3-0 to Cora Wade. As that one is in there for a strike. Wade, the senior center fielder, batting .397 on the year. 31 hits and 78 plate appearances. 1 home run and 6 RBIs. Wade has been a tough out to get here in the series. She is 4 for 8 and has had a bunt single and both the Friday and Saturday game. She lays one down perfectly, throw to first in time. That one died out right in front of the catcher, Vollmer. 1 out here in the top of the first. Starter pitching today for UNLV is Jenny Bressler. The freshman, 1.76 ERA, 12-2 on the year. This is the 14th game she has started, 83 2/3 innings pitched. Has given up 71 hits, 21 runs, 21 of them have been earned, 25 walks, 67 strikeouts, and opponents are hitting .273 against the true freshman who, reigning Mount West Player of the Week, and had a great game on Friday. She's going up against Rebecca Cervantes, one of the best players in this Boise State lineup, the senior, batting .351 on the year, 26 hits and 74 plate appearances, 1 home run and 16 RBIs, as there's a big swing and a miss. Count is 1-1. 4 for 7 in this series is the shortstop. In the win on Friday for UNLV, Bressler went 7 innings, gave up 9 hits, 1 run, 1 earned, 1 walk, 1 strikeout. And that one is taken low for a ball, 2-1. Boise State was able to get the runners on, but Bressler was able to limit the damage. Yesterday, though, Boise State really hit UNLV hard. The worst loss of the year for the Rebels. They dropped Saturday's game 11-2. As that pitch is on the inside, 3-1. Boise State scored in all 5 innings. It was the first time UNLV's been run ruled this year. Charlie Masterson had the loss. Boise State had 11 runs off of 13 hits. UNLV just 2 runs off of 5 hits. So it's the rubber match series. As that one is in there for a strike. 3-2 is the count. Boise State 19-3, 1-1 in conference play, while UNLV is 20-6, 1-1 in conference play. The loss yesterday was just the second loss here at Eller Media Stadium. The payoff pitch, and there's a liner down the left field line. Miranda Bueno giving chase and catches it just past the foul line. Out number 2. That will bring up Jessica McKay. The junior, batting .344 on the year, 21 hits and 61 plate appearances, 3 home runs and 17 RBIs to her name. She's 2 for 4 in this series. Defensively for UNLV, you've got Bueno in left, Tixon in center, Bondi in right. Barker at third, Diaz at short, Federi at second as that pitch is fouled back, Trejo at first, and Vollmer behind the plate. McKay this year with 2 outs is a .381 hitter. Bressler, opponents against her with 2 outs is .269 as off-speed pitch on the outside for a strike, 0-2. In Friday's win, UNLV scored their first run in the first inning. Yesterday's win for Boise State, they scored their first run in the first inning. So it's whoever scores first, as there's a big swing and a miss, strike 3. A 1-2-3 inning for UNLV. Quick one here on the top of the first. As we head to the bottom half, 0-0 is the score here at Eller Media Stadium. Back here live at LR Media Stadium. Tom Jake with the call. Thank you for joining us here on your Sunday afternoon, wherever you are watching. Beautiful day here in Las Vegas, Nevada, about 70 degrees. Approaching the final days of winter. Raina Bondi will be up to bat. The junior batting .348 on the year, 31 hits and 89 plate appearances. 1 home run and 12 RBIs to her name. She's 2 for 6 in this series, and yesterday made some great contact, but all 3 of her hits were right to the Boise State defense as the first pitch here. In the bottom of the first is swung on and popped up into shallow right field, and it's going to be dropped by Molina. Actually might have just tipped off of her glove. A valiant effort, but unable to do it. Unable to corral the ball in, so the count goes to 0-1 to Bondi. Starting pitcher today for Boise State is same as yesterday, Gianna Mancha. The sophomore, 1.85 ERA, 8-1 on the year. This is the 9th game that she has started. 53 innings pitched. She's given up 40 hits, 17 runs, 14 of them have been earned, 22 walks, and 34 strikeouts. Next pitch is low for a ball, 1-1. 0-0 is the score here. Mancha in yesterday's win went 5 innings, gave up 5 hits, 2 runs. 1 of them was earned, 3 walks, and 2 strikeouts. As Bondi's going to send that one into the gap, and it's a diving attempt, but it goes off the glove of the right fielder. Bondi will head to second with a leadoff double. Adams, with a diving attempt, is when she went down to the ground, the ball squirted out, and Bondi on second here. So twice, Boise State had an attempt to get Bondi out. The ball went off the glove of Molina on the first pitch, and then Adams had the ball squirted out. UNLV has a chance to take the lead here. Rebels 16-0 when they score first. They're 4-6 when the opponents score first, as Lauren Tixon will be up to bat. The junior batting .471 on the year, 40 hits and 85 plate appearances, 4 doubles, and 15 RBIs on the season, as the first pitch is taken high for a ball 1-0. Tixon in this series is 3 for 6. Both her and Bondi have been the speedsters on the base pass. Bondi at second. She's 14 out of 14 on stolen base opportunities this year. 1-0. Tixon showing bunt. It's going to be taken for a strike, 1-1. Justine Federi on deck for the Rebels, and Mia Trejo in the hole. UNLV black tops, white bottoms. Boise State orange tops and blue bottoms. The 1-1. Big swing and a miss there for a strike, 1-2. With runners in scoring position this year, Tixon has been fantastic. .562 average. Mancha on the year with runners on a .170 average. Opponents are hitting against her, so she's been able to limit the damage as that pitch is on the outside, 2-2. Well, yesterday UNLV, worst defeat of the season. We're only able to muster up 5 hits, scored 2 runs. As the 2-2. Outside for a ball, 3-2. Both games have been blowouts. UNLV won 8-1 on Friday. Boise State 11-2 yesterday. Boise State, the 24th ranked team in the country, came into the series with a 17-game winning streak, was the second longest in the country before UNLV broke it on Friday. As Tixon fouls this one off, out of play. Count remained full, 3-2. Tixon's one of the 3 juniors in this lineup. As she sends a chopper to short, throw over to first in time as Bondi thought about going. Cervantes was able to look behind her shoulder to kind of force Bondi back, and she fired it on over to first. So Tixon can't get the job done, and Justine Federi will be up to bat. 1 out here in the bottom of the first. Raina Bondi on second. Justine Federi is that other junior we mentioned in the lineup. The other one also Raina Bondi on second. Federi, .385 average on the year, 30 hits and 78 plate appearances, 2 home runs and 24 RBIs. as she'll take the first pitch outside for a ball 1-0. In this series, Federi is 3-4-6. And a big 3-run single in Friday's win that really gave UNLV a big insurance boost going into the 7th inning. There's a swing and a miss, 1-1. And yesterday's loss, Federi was 1 for 2 with a double. One. He is in there for a strike, 1-2. Good crowd on hand here Sunday, St. Patrick's Day, here at Media Stadium. UNLV, after this game, will be on the road for their next 2 series against Utah State and San Diego State. As the 1-2 pitch, Federi chips that one foul. Count remained 1-2 before UNLV, next time they're here at home, will be April 5th through the 7th against Fresno State. A big series against one of the best teams as of recently in the Mountain West. The 1-2. That one is going to be taken low, 2-2. Fresno State, who won Mountain West Championship 3 years ago. 2 years ago was San Jose State, and last year it was Boise State trying to defend their crown. The 2-2. Good take there by Federi, outside for a ball 3-2. Mia Trejo on deck for the Rebels. Federi this year with runners in scoring position, 400 average. UNLV trying to get Bondi in after the leadoff double. Federi sends a high chopper. Bondi will go. The throw to first will be in time. Johnson over to Sang as Bondi will advance to third, but now 2 outs in the inning, and Mia Trejo will have to work her magic. The sophomore batting .328 on the year, 22 hits and 67 plate appearances, 4 home runs and 22 RBIs. One of those home runs came on Friday night, 3-run home run in the 3rd inning. She also scored the first run of the ball game on Friday with a sacrifice fly. She's 2 for 4 in this series. 2 outs in the inning. And the first pitch is taken low for a ball 1-0. Armendariz on deck for the Rebels if Trejo can keep this inning alive. Trejo this year with runners in scoring position, .367 average, and with 2 outs, about .280. Opponents against Mancha are hitting just .210 with 2 outs. That ball is skipped. It gets away. Bondi's coming home. The play at the plate is in time. They got her. Bondi was just tagged, and we're going to get an argument here with head coach Christy Fox. We'll see what the third base umpire is going to say. Eric Hawthorne called out Bondi, and it's going to stand. Bondi got aggressive, and that will end the inning. A leadoff double, but UNLV can't get anything across the board. We head to the top of the second. 0-0 is the score here at Media Stadium. Top of the second here at Media Stadium. 0-0 is the score. Raina Bondi got tagged out at home. Hutchinson had the ball go away from her. The starting catcher for Boise State but was able to slap the tag. Keep this game scoreless, and for the first time in this series, it's 0-0 going into the second inning as the first pitch is taken for a strike 0-1 to Allison Sang. The first baseman just 1 for 7 in this series. Sophomore batting .333 overall, 21 hits and 63 plate appearances, 1 home run and 19 RBIs to her name as that pitch is going to be taken for a ball 1-1. Be the 4, 5, and 6 hitters for Boise State. Adams on deck and Fillmore in the hole. UNLV will have the same order of their lineup due up in that second inning. Trejo, Armendariz, and Diaz as that ball is fouled back. Count now 1-2. UNLV trying to win the series against Boise State for the second year in a row as that pitch is on the outside. 2-2. UNLV last year up in Boise, Idaho. Took 2 of 3. They won 2 pitchers duels, a 1-0 win in 8 innings and a 2-1 game before losing a 12-11 thriller in 9 innings. It was back on April 13th through the 15th in 2018 as there is a high drive into center field. Will stay in play. Tixon underneath it, and that is out number 1 here in the second inning. Helping up the sophomore right fielder, Ashlyn Adams. .347 hitter, 25 hits and 72 plate appearances, 14 RBIs to her name. Adams is 3-4-7 in this series, showing bunt. Defense in, pulls back, and will send one right to Mia Trejo. Wow. That was a liner. Mia Trejo, who had to play in due to the bunt, gets the glove up in time. Now 2 outs here in the top of the second inning as the designated hitter, Brady Fillmore, will be up to bat. Fillmore is 3 for 7 in this series. The junior batting .309 overall, 21 hits and 68 plate appearances, 2 home runs and 14 RBIs as she gets underneath that one into shallow left field. Bueno will call off Diaz, and it's a quick 1-2-3 inning for Jenny Bressler and UNLV. We head to the bottom of the second. 0-0 is the score here at Media Stadium. Back here live at Media Stadium here in Las Vegas, Nevada. Beautiful Sunday afternoon. Mia Trejo will be back up to bat as Raina Bondi was tagged out to end the bottom of the first, so Trejo will get an opportunity against Gianna Mancha. With nobody on here in the bottom of the second, Jenny Bressler with a great 1-2-3 inning. In the top of the second, very quick, as first pitch is taken outside for a ball, 1-0. Trejo, Armendariz, and Diaz will be up for the Rebels. The 1-0. Trejo gets underneath that one. Foul. 1-1. Trejo on the year when leading off. An impressive .533. Right now, average at 328. She's 2 for 4 in this series. Was the star of Friday night's win, the 1-1, as she gets underneath that one. It's going to land in for a base hit to left field. Trejo's third hit of the series. UNLV's second, and just like they did in the bottom of the first, they get their leadoff batter on base as Denise Armendariz will be up to bat. The freshman, 229 on the year, 8 hits and 35 plate appearances, 1 home run and 8 RBIs. She's 2 for 6 in this series. And with runners on, at a solid 250 average, we'll try to get Trejo over. First pitch is taken for a ball, 1-0. Trejo doesn't have the speed. She usually is pitch run for her. We've seen it a couple times in this series. See if she can get the second if head coach Christy Fox will take Trejo out. The 1-0. That one is in there for a strike, 1-1. UNLV was able to rough up the ace for Boise State, Kelsey Brodus, on Friday. Gianna Mancha was able to crack the code of UNLV's offense, but not here in the second inning as that one goes up the middle for a base hit. Back-to-back hits for UNLV, and they've got something going here in the bottom of the second. 2 on, nobody out for Samantha Diaz. Already 3 hits for UNLV. They just had 5 through 5 innings yesterday. Samantha Diaz will try to get off the schneid. She is 0 for 6 in this series. The sophomore batting .333, 24 hits and 72 plate appearances, 2 home runs and 15 RBIs. Diaz was close to getting a solo home run in yesterday's loss. Just hooked it foul as the first pitch is going to be taken for a strike, 0-1. Miranda Bueno on deck. Bueno moving up in the lineup. She's in the 7th spot. Diaz here in the 6th spot, trying to get at least the runners over. She shows bunt, lays it down, but it goes foul. 0-2 is the count. Trejo at second, Armendariz at first. Mancha trying to keep this game tied. Jenny Bressler has been fantastic through 2 innings so far as Diaz swings and misses, and that is the 4th strikeout of the series for Samantha Diaz. Now 0 for 7. She can't get the runners over, and now we'll bring up Miranda Bueno. Bueno, the senior, batting .323 on the year, 20 hits and 62 plate appearances, 2 home runs and 10 RBIs to her name. She's 2 for 5 in this series, both hits coming in yesterday's defeat for UNLV. Just like they did in the first inning, UNLV got the leadoff runners on, but weren't able to move them over to that covenant third base spot, as that one is taken for a strike. 0-1 is the count. Raina Bonney led off the first with a double. If you're just joining us, was able to get to third with 2 outs, and the pass ball, she went for home and then was tagged out. A close play denied UNLV of the first run of the ball game as Bueno gets underneath that one, and it's going to be caught by the first baseman, Sang. So UNLV, 2 straight hits and now 2 straight outs, and is going to take a 2-out hit from Lauren Barker to get the runner home. The freshman batting .236 on the year, 13 hits and 55 plate appearances, 1 home run and 10 RBIs to her name. She's 0 for 5 in this series. With 2 outs, she's just a 174 hitter, but with runners in scoring position, her average is at 389. It's going to take a 2-out hit here for UNLV as the first pitch is taken for a strike, 0-1. UNLV now with runners on, 1 for 5, and with runners in scoring position, 0 for 4. That was the story for Boise State in Friday night's loss as Barker gets underneath that one and fouls it back, 0-2. Boise State got the runners on but couldn't get the timely hitting. Julia Vollmer is on deck for the Rebels. Trejo at second, Armendariz at first. The pitch, and Barker just stays alive as she hooks that one on top of the Boise State dugout down the first baseline. Still 0-2, 2 outs in the inning. Due up in the top of the third for Boise State will be the 7, 8, and 9 hitters, Johnson, Molina, and Hutchinson. Mancha has set the pitch on the outside. Good take by Barker. 1-2. UNLV now 3 for 7 on the day. They came in batting .322 as a team. The 1-2 pitch, and that one is going to be fouled back out of play behind the stands. 1-2, 2 outs in the inning. 0-0 is the score. UNLV 3 hits so far, trying to get their first run of the ball game. The 1-2. That one is going to be sent to second. Molina has it. Throws it on over to first. Almost a little bit of a moment there, but she's able to fire it on over. So UNLV gets 2 runners on with nobody out, but can't get anything across the board. We head to the top of the third. 0-0 here at Media Stadium. Back here live at Media Stadium. Wyatt Tomczyk here on the call. Thank you for joining us here at Media Stadium on a beautiful Sunday afternoon here in Las Vegas, Nevada. 0-0 is the score as we head to the top of the third. Jenny Bressler back out for another inning of work. She had a quick second inning. Boise State has not been able to get a hit so far. They'll send Carly Johnson up to bat, and Johnson gets a ride in that one down the left field line, but it will be foul. Way out in front of that one. Good contact, though, for Johnson. The third baseman, the junior, batting .265 on the year, 13 hits and 49 plate appearances, 7 RBIs to her name. She's 3 for 6 in this series. The 0-1, that one's going to be sent to trail. Easy play, 3 unassisted. 1 out here in the top of the third inning. This is the start of conference play here in the Mountain West. Colorado State is the only undefeated team right now. They're 2-0. They've beaten up on Fresno State. Colorado State 19-4 on the year. Fresno State has dropped to 14-8 as there's a fly ball to left. Miranda Bueno has it. 1 pitch, 1 out. Molina flies out to Bueno. Quick work here by Jenny Bressler. That's now 2 outs in the inning. Serena Hutchinson will be up to bat. The freshman batting .188 on the year. 9 hits and 48 plate appearances, 2 home runs and 3 RBIs, but one of those home runs came yesterday off of Brianna Burke to left field. First pitch taken outside for a ball, 1-0. Only team not to play this weekend in Mountain West play. is San Jose State. The rest, we have a tie for second. Boise State and UNLV, obviously 1-1. UNR, 1-1. San Diego State, Utah State, and New Mexico, all 1-1 right now. Count is 1-1 here in the top of the third, 2 outs. Bressler trying to keep this Boise State lineup hitless to first time around. Check swing. Did she go? No, she did not. 2-1. Do it for UNLV in the bottom of the third will be the 9, 1, and 2 hitters, Vollmer, Bondi, and Tixon. As that pitch is on the inside. 3-1. Bressler hasn't had many walks this year, 25 through 86 in the third innings, has 68 strikeouts. Has 1 strikeout so far today. The 3-1 pitch is on the outside, ball 4. So the first base runner of the ball game will be a walk for Boise State. Back to the top of the lineup, Cora Wade. Wade, 0 for 1 on the day. She tried to lay down a bunt that died out right in front of the batter's box. Vollmer threw it on over to first. As the first pitch is in there for a strike, 0-1. Hutchinson hasn't really tried the stolen base this year as a bunt laid down. Will go foul, 0-2. She's just 1 of 2 on the year. Wade is the speedster, 17 out of 19. She can get on base. Cervantes on deck for the Broncos. UNLV projected to finish 4th in the preseason Mountain West. Boise State projected to finish first, got 8 of the 9 first place votes. That's going to be sent to Miranda Bueno, a couple steps over, and that will end the inning as Boise State gets a 2-out walk, but nothing across the board. We head to the bottom of the third. Pitcher's duel here at Alameda Stadium, 0-0. Bottom of the third between Boise State and UNLV. No one has scored so far. Boise State, the 24th ranked team in the country. Rubber match game here. UNLV won the first game 8-1 on Friday. Boise State came back here Saturday, 11-2, 5-inning win. First time UNLV has been run ruled this year as the first pitch is outside for a ball. 1-0 to Julia Vollmer. The freshman catcher, 133 on the year, 4 hits and 30 plate appearances. 0 for 2 in the series. Got the start yesterday, but did not register an at-bat as that one is fouled back. Kylie Harrison got a couple plate appearances for Vollmer, who had a couple innings defensively behind the plate. Be the 9-1 and 2 hitters. UNLV in 2 straight innings have got the leadoff runners on, but haven't been able to get anything across the board. Raina Bondi was thrown out at home to end the first, as there's a little dribbler to second. Throw over to first in time. Molina over to Sang. 1 out here in the bottom of the third, and back to the top of the lineup for UNLV, and it'll bring up Raina Bondi. Bondi 1 for 1 on the day. She sent a drive into the gap. Adams with a diving attempt, but when she went and hit the ground, the ball popped out. Bondi was able to advance to second. As we mentioned, she was thrown out trying to advance on a pass ball at home. Try to get something going here. First pitch is going to be taken low for a ball, 1-0. That double in the first was the third of the year for Bondi. Average right now at 356. Tixon on deck for the Rebels. The 1-0. Bondi fouls that one back. 1-1 is the count. Boise State will travel over to Los Angeles, California on March 19th to face off against Harvard and Loyola Marymount. And then they open up Mountain West play at home against San Diego State, March 22nd through the 24th. As Bondi sends a drive into left field, high enough and in play. McKay has it. 2 outs here in the bottom of the third for Lauren Tixon. Tixon is 0 for 1 on the day. She grounded out to short in her first plate appearance. And UNLV will try to get a 2-out hit here. UNLV will have home series here at Eller Media Stadium against Fresno State, San Jose State, and New Mexico, as that pitch is going to be taken for a strike, 0-1. We mentioned their road matchups. On the road at Utah State, on the road against San Diego State, Colorado State, and UNR. The toughest one right now is going to be Colorado State. They've been playing so well. They've taken 2 of the first 3 against Fresno State, as that one is in there for a strike, 0-2. Justine Federi is on deck for the Rebels. If Tixon can keep this inning alive. Due up in the top of the fourth for Boise State will be the 2, 3, and 4 hitters, Cervantes, McKay, and Sang. And that's going to be line to left, but just long enough for McKay, who is kind of creeping in defensively. And that is the first 1, 2, 3 inning for Gianna Mancha. As we head to the top of the fourth, 0-0 is the score here at Eller Media Stadium. Here in the top of the fourth at Eller Media Stadium, Tom Check with the call. Thank you for joining us here on your Sunday afternoon, wherever you are watching, as the first pitch is a swing and a miss to start the top of the fourth inning. Jenny Bressler going up against Rebecca Cervantes, and it's the lone K today for Bressler against the reigning Mountain West Player of the Year in Cervantes. Actually, sorry, Cervantes flew out to left in her first plate appearance. My fault on that one. 1-1 is the count. Just jumped the gun just a little bit on that one. But Bressler has been fantastic so far, has not given up a hit through 3 innings against a very good Boise State team. First time around, they got some hits against the true freshman from Michigan, but like I mentioned, they just could not get the timely hitting. Even had a weird ending to the game on Friday with the bases loaded, as the 2-1 pitch is going to be sent to left field. Bueno coming in. She has it. Miranda Bueno's had a very busy last couple of days. 1 out here in the top of the 4th. Jessica McKay will be up to bat. She is the lone strikeout of the ball game for Jenny Bressler. We mentioned that game on Friday. Boise State got the bases loaded with 2 outs, trailing 8-1. They had a substitution early on in the game and did not properly bring the starter back in. Umpires called it out, and that was the end of the ball game. First pitch taken outside for a ball, 1-0. McKay is 0 for 1 on the day. Sang on deck. That one is in there for a strike, 1-1. Bressler picking up where she left off last weekend. Dominant performance in the Stanford tournament. UNLV will have one more series as that pitch is going to be taken high. 2-1 of non-conference play on April 26th through the 27th against Cal Baptist. April 26th will be a doubleheader, and then the 27th game on 12 p.m. as that ball is going to be popped up out of play into the stands. See if anyone's going to make a catch. No. 2-2 is the count. 1 out in the inning. UNLV has 3 hits in the ball game, none for Boise State. It's a quick-paced ball game, already in the 4th inning. As there's a drive down the left field line, Bueno giving chase, but it's going to go out of play on top of the batting cages. Yesterday's game, we were almost 2 hours in and just barely got through the 5th inning. Today, pitcher's duel. The 2-2. And there's a shot to center field. Tixon going back, and she's got it. She had to judge where the ball went. Got a good read. Loud out number 2. Allison Sang will be up to bat. The sophomore 0 for 1 on the day. Bressler looking for her 3rd 1-2-3 inning. The lone base runner for Boise State was a 2-out walk last inning by the catcher Hutchinson. As that one's going to be fouled back out of play. 0-1. Do it for UNLV in the bottom of the 4th will be the 3, 4, and 5 hitters, Federi, Trejo, and Armendariz. Trejo and Armendariz have 2 of the 3 hits for UNLV. The 0-1. That one's going to be fouled back out of play yet again. Into the trees. Count 0-2. Boise State 0 for 11 as a team today. UNLV 3 for 11, but the Rebels haven't had the timely hitting when they've gotten runners on. Just 1 for 6 and 0 for 5 with runners in scoring position. The 0-2 pitch. And that one is going to be fouled down the left field line. Count remain. Bressler, 5'4", freshman from Canton, Michigan. She is set, the 0-2. On the outside corner, strike 3, the second strikeout for Jenny Bressler, and another 1-2-3 inning. She has no hit the Broncos through 4. We hit to the bottom of the 4th. 0-0 is the score here at LA Media Stadium. Back here live at Alameda Stadium, the 24th ranked team in the country, Boise State and UNLV. 0-0 is the score in the bottom of the fourth inning pitcher's duel. As Justine Federi will be up to bat. Federi is 0 for 1 on the day. She grounded out to third in her first plate appearance. First pitch taken outside for a ball, 1-0. Gianna Mancha back out for another inning of work. 3 innings, 3 hits, no runs, no earned, no walks, and 1 strikeout. Federi, when she has led off an inning, an impressive .538 hitting. UNLV, the first 2 out of these 3 innings so far, Rebels have got their leadoff batter on base. Raina Bonney led off the first with a double. And Mia Trail led off the second with a single, but UNLV has not been able to get any runs across the board. The 2-0. Federi gets underneath that one, and it will go out of play on top of the Boise State dugout. Federi, Trejo, and Armendariz will be due up to bat in this bottom of the fourth inning. They'll be trying to get some runs for its freshman ace, Jenny Bresler, as Federi sends a drive down the right field line in foul territory, out of play. And now the count even 2-2. Mancha has got that ERA down to 1.75. And she gave up only 2 runs yesterday. One of them was earned. As the 2-2 pitch, Federi will send this one to first. Sang has to back up a little bit. Gets it. 3 unassisted. 1 out here in the top of the fourth inning for Mia Trejo. The sophomore first baseman is 1 for 1 on the day. Singled in her first plate appearance. Mentioned got to second. UNLV started out that second inning, back-to-back singles, but couldn't advance the runners. Trejo has had 4 RBIs in this series so far as she takes the first pitch outside for a ball, 1-0. Her 4 home runs lead UNLV in that department. There's 22 RBIs, 23 hits, and 68 plate appearances. Trejo gets underneath that one as a sky-high pop-up, almost what we saw yesterday, but Mancha is able to clamp this one down. Yesterday, Trejo was able to get on due to an error by the first baseman Sang, but this one, no harm, no foul. 2 outs now in the inning for Denise Armendariz. 1 for 1 on the day. She singled in her last plate appearance. UNLV 0 for 2 with 2 outs today. The first pitch, inside, 1-0. Samantha Diaz on deck if Armendariz can keep this inning alive. The 1-0, inside for a strike, 1-1. With 2 outs this year, Armendariz, a .308 hitter. The 1-1, and she chops that one foul down the third baseline. Count goes now to 1-2. Due up in the top of the fifth for Boise State will be the 5, 6, and 7 hitters, Adams, Fillmore, and Johnson. Boise State has been held hitless so far through 4. Their lone base runner was a walk in the third inning. As Armendariz gets underneath that one down the left field line, holding up. In foul territory, McKay has it, and it's a 1-2-3 inning for Gianna Mancha and Boise State. We head to the top of the 5th. 0-0 is the score here at Alameda Stadium. Back here live at Eller Media Stadium here in Las Vegas, Nevada. Wyatt Tomczyk on the call. Pitchers duel here on the campus of UNLV between Boise State and the Rebels. 24th ranked team in the country, Boise State, is ranked for the first time in their program history, off to their best start in program history. Trying to get some hits against UNLV's freshman ace, Jenny Bressler, as the first pitch is going to be taken outside for a ball 1-0. Ashlyn Adams up to bat for the Broncos, who was 0 for 1 on the day. She lined out to Mia Trejo in the second inning. Trejo had to kind of collapse in due to the showing of the bunt, as that one is going to be fouled back and needed a quick reaction to get the line out. 1-1 is the count now after the foul ball. Bressler so far, 4 innings, no hits, no runs, no earned, 1 walk, and 2 strikeouts. A walk is the only base runner Boise State has had, and the catcher Hutchinson. The 1-1. And that one is going to be sent into center field for a base hit when past the glove of Bressler and a diving attempt by Samantha Diaz. The first hit of the ball game for Boise State goes to Adams. And they got a leadoff runner for the first time in this ball game. 1 out, or 1 on, nobody out for Fillmore. Fillmore is 0 for 1 on the day. She flew out to left in her first plate appearance. UNLV just 3 hits in the ball game. Those 3 hits came in the first 2 innings. Back-to-back 1, 2, 3 innings by Gianna Mancha. As the first pitch is on the inside for a strike, 0-1. UNLV in the bottom half of this inning will have the 6, 7, and 8 hitters, Diaz, Bueno, and Barker. The 0-1, taken high, 1-1. Adams over at first is 2 for 3 on stolen base opportunities. Fillmore on the year with runners on. She's batting .311, and with runners on against Bressler, just .185. Runner going, ball popped up in the air, but it's going to go over the net into about the third row. Count goes to 1-2. Johnson on deck for the Broncos. Boise State 9 hits in Friday night's losses. That's going to be sent to right. Bondi has it. The throw back over to first, and a little bit of a collision, but everyone gets back safe. 1 out. I mentioned 9 hits for Boise State in Friday night's loss, 13 yesterday in yesterday's win, just 1 today through 5 innings. As Adams got a little bit far off trying to test the arm of Bondi. She's got a good arm. Got to be careful. As Carly Johnson will be up to bat. Johnson 0 for 1 on the day. She grounded out to Mia Trejo in the 3rd inning. As she sends a high drive down the left field line, and it's going to go out of play. Johnson on the year with runners on, a .333 hitter. On-base percentage at .288, average right now at .260. 13 hits and 50 plate appearances. She's had 2 doubles and 7 RBIs. Still waiting for the first run of the ball game. Is another foul ball down the left field line, just out in front of that one. That one had a little bit more oomph into that than the last foul ball. 0-2 is the count, 1 out in the inning. Molina on deck for the Broncos. Bressler set the 0-2 pitch. On the outside, ball, 1-2. UNLV trying to take 2 of 3 from the defending Mountain West champions as the 1-2 pitch is popped out of play. And taking 2 out of 3 is really big because unlike baseball, men's and women's basketball, men's and women's soccer, there's no conference tournament for softball. It's just based on the regular season and conference play. So if you start off slow, it's going to be almost a death knell, as that one is sent to short. Diaz on the hop, throw over to second in time. They get Adams, the lead runner, out. Johnson safe at first with no throw. 2 outs in the inning for Molina. Molina 0 for 1 on the day. Average right now at 148. She flew out to left in her first plate appearance. With 2 outs, batting .200 with runners on, 214. First pitch taken high for a ball, 1-0. Last time the Broncos were here in Vegas, they took 2 out of 3. Scores 5-1, 8-4, and 6-1. 8-4 was the victory for UNLV. 2-0 is the count, 2 outs in the inning. Hutchinson is on deck if Molina can keep this inning alive. The 2-0. That one is popped up. Will it stay in play? Vollmer makes the catch on the net for out number 3. Great play by the freshman catcher for UNLV, and that will end the inning as Boise State gets 1 on, but nothing across the board. We head to the bottom of the 5th. Still 0-0 here at Eller Media Stadium. Pitch hitter here for the Rebels as we start the bottom of the 5th here at Eller Media Stadium. Stacia Cermak will be up to bat. She is pitch hitting for Samantha Diaz. Diaz has been hitless so far in this series, and Cermak will be up to bat. A great average, 438, when she's leading off, 714. An impressive stat line as she gets underneath that one. A little dribbler to second. 1 pitch, 1 out. Molina over to Sang, so the pitcher for UNLV can't get anything going. And Miranda Bueno will be up to bat. Bueno is 0 for 1 on the day. She fouled out to first base in her first plate appearance. Average right now at 317. UNLV hasn't had a hit since the 2nd inning. That hit was by Denise Armendariz that put 2 runners on with nobody out. UNLV got a leadoff double in the first by Raina Bondi, but she was thrown out at home. No real threats. Boise State, they haven't had a runner get to second base all game so far. UNLV is 1 for 6 with runners on, 0 for 5 in runners in scoring position. Boise State has had 2 runners on in this game. They're 0 for 4 with runners on. As the 1-0 pitch to the senior Bueno, and Bueno gets underneath it, fouls it back. 1-1 is the count. Barker on deck for the Rebels. Due up in the top of the 6th will be Hutchinson, Wade, and Cervantes, the 9, 1, and 2 hitters for Boise State. The 1-1. Bueno's going to send that one back up the middle for a base hit. The first base hit for Miranda Bueno puts UNLV in position here with 1 on, with 1 out. Third hit of the series for the senior left fielder, Miranda Bueno, as Lauren Barker will be up to bat. Barker is 0 for 1 on the day. She grounded out to second in her first plate appearance. The first pitch is taken for a strike, 0-1. Vollmer on deck for the Rebels before going back to the top of the lineup. The 0-1 from Mancha is a check swing, but low for a ball, 1-1. Bueno over at first is 2 for 3 on stolen base opportunities this year. Barker with runners on, 3.21 average. The 1-1 as she gets underneath that one into shallow left field. McKay coming in. She'll call off Cervantes for out number 2. UNLV now 1 of 7 with runners on. And Julia Vollmer will be up to bat. Vollmer made that nice play to end the bottom half of the top half of the 5th inning, is just as we announce it. Thought head coach Christy Fox would do it. She's going to bring in Kylie Harrison. Harrison, who had a double in yesterday's loss. Harrison at 276. Average on the year, 8 hits and 29 plate appearances. 5 RBIs to her name and 2 doubles. Harrison with 2 outs this year, a 385 hitter, and with runners on, 250. Trying to work some magic here with Miranda Bueno on first, got on with a 1-out single. 0-0 between UNLV and Boise State. We saw an 8-1 victory on Friday by UNLV, and yesterday an 11-2 victory by Boise State. So the pitching staffs have come to work here today. After the conference call by Boise State, we're ready to get back to work here with Kylie Harrison, the second pitch hitter of this inning for head coach Christy Fox. And the pitch on the outside for a strike, 0-1. Raina Bondi on deck if Harrison can keep this inning alive. Harrison has an on-base percentage of .353. And she gets underneath that one. Out of play. 0-2 is the count. UNLV has been accustomed this year to these pitchers' duels. Last week's tournament, they lost a 1-0 game to Massachusetts Lovell and were able to beat Stanford 1-0. Harrison sends this one into shallow left center field, and it's going to land, and it gets by. Bueno's being waved home. The play at the plate is not in time. Harrison now caught in a pickle. Throw back over to second. She is safe. And Kylie Harrison off the bench gets UNLV's first run of the game. They're winning that no man's land in the left center field. McKay, Wade, and Cervantes could not come up with it. It went by McKay. And Kylie Harrison picks up RBI number 6. UNLV takes a 1-0 lead here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Raina Bondi will be up to bat, and that's the first hit for UNLV with 2 outs. Their second hit with runners on, and Bondi will try to get some more insurance runs for her pitcher, Jenny Bressler. Bondi's 1 for 2 with a double in the first and then flew out to left in her second plate appearance. That ball's in the ground right in front of Hutchinson. Harrison does not advance. Going to be an RBI single for Kylie Harrison. Advance a second on the throw. Bueno is able to score after the ball got by. And Bondi will be up to bat where she is 458 with 2 outs this year. With runners in scoring position, 300. 2-0 is the count. Tixon is on deck for the Rebels if Bondi can keep this inning alive. The 2-0 from Mancha. He is taken for a strike, 2-1. UNLV finally is able to crack the code of Gianna Mancha. They lead it 1-0 here in the bottom of the 5th inning. That one gets by Hutchinson, and Harrison is now closer to home, advances to third. Bondi has a favorable count. It's now 3-1 with 2 outs. Well, if Bondi is able to get on due to a walk, she's got the speed and most likely will have a stolen base opportunity. She's 14 out of 14 on the year. The 3-1 is on the outside for a strike, 3-2. Harrison at third, 2 outs in the inning. 3-2 count. UNLV leading 1-0, trying to get another run across the board. The pitch. Bondi gets underneath that one and fouls it out of play, stays alive. We'll do it all over again. Mancha set the payoff pitch. And Bondi this time slaps it foul down the first baseline. Still 3-2. Mentioned Tixon on deck for the Rebels. The 3-2 pitch. Bondi fouls it off yet again. Fighting hard here. The junior, who's got the average right now at 352, on base percentage just a little bit below 400 at 394. The payoff pitch. Inside, ball 4, and Bondi will advance to first off of the 8th walk she has drawn this year. And she's got some speed out there, so does Tixon. It's going to be a tough little sequence here for Boise State. I would expect to see Bondi being sent on a steal. So Lauren Tixon will be up to bat. She's 0 for 2 on the day. She grounded out to short in her first plate appearance and then lined out to left in her second plate appearance. Defense is in third and first base. First pitch is taken high for a ball, 1-0. Justine Federi is on deck for the Rebels. The 1-0. Outside, 2-0. Well, Tixon has that average right now of 460. Justine Federi's at 375. We've seen her come up with some clutch hits in this series so far. The 2-0 from Mancha. That one is bounced, now 3-0. Bondi still at first, Harrison at third. Kylie Harrison with an RBI single that scored Miranda Bueno. Ball got by McKay and left. The 3-0 pitch, that one is taken high. Ball 4, back-to-back walks. by Bondi and Tixon. That's the 5th walk Tixon has drawn on the year. Bases loaded, 2 outs for Justine Federi. And the last time she was in a position with the bases loaded, had a 3-run single. Tixon's speed, she was able to score all the way from first in Friday night's win. That put the game out of reach for Boise State. UNLV won it 8-1. And Federi will try it again with the bases loaded this year. 500 average, 462 with 2 outs as she gets underneath the first one. Go out of play down the right field line. With runners in scoring position, the junior second baseman is also 389 on the year. She has 2 home runs to her name and 6 doubles, 1 triple. The 0-1. Hits the outside corner, 0-2 to Federi. Kylie Harrison at third, Bondi at second, Tixon at first. The 0-2. And Federi will send this one down the right field line. Diving attempt by Adams, but could not get it. Just out of her reach. Count remain 0-2. As we mentioned in the top of the 6th, it will be the 9-1-2 hitters for Boise State. Broncos just 1 hit so far through 5 innings. UNLV at 5. 1-0 is the score. UNLV trying to add some runs. Kind of a waste pitch. Taken low for a ball, 1-2. Federi did not go around. Mia Trejo on deck for the Rebels if Federi can keep this inning alive. The 1-2. Federi sends a drive into left center field. That ball is going to be caught by McKay. A good ride. It just held long enough up in the air for McKay, and that will end the inning. But UNLV finally gets a run across the board. They lead it 1-0 here, going to the top of the 6th at Eller Media Stadium. One nothing is the score here in the top of the 6th at Eller Media Stadium. Wine Tom Check with the call. Thank you for joining us here on your Sunday afternoon, wherever you are watching. As the first pitch here in the top of the 6th inning is taken low for a ball in the dirt. 1-0 to Serena Hutchinson. The freshman walked in her first plate appearance, was the first base runner for Boise State, but was only able to advance to first. Broncos have not gotten a player to second. Now, Hutchinson has found a way to get on base the hard way. She walked and then takes one probably off the shin. Bressler with two suspect pitches there. That was the longest break she had. Now puts a runner on first with nobody out. And it looks like we're going to have a pitch runner here for Boise State. Elena Mayer will be out to pitch run for the Broncos. We'll be back to the top of the lineup. Cora Wade will be up to bat. Wade is 0 for 2 on the day. She tried to get her third straight bunt single to lead off the game, but it died out right in front of the batter's box. Vollmer was able to fire it on over to first, and then a fly out to left in her second plate appearance. Boise State, this is just their third base runner of the ball game. They're 0 for 4 with runners on today. Defense in. Wade lays it down, but it goes foul. Cervantes on deck for Boise State. Due up in the bottom of the 6 for UNLV, it'll be the 4, 5, and 6 hitters, Trejo, Armendariz, and Diaz. Samantha Diaz was pitch hit last time or go around, so we'll see if head coach Christy Fox will leave her in the lineup. Bunt placed down perfectly. Barker's got to get it quickly off and did not get it in time. Third time this series, Wade has gotten an infield single off of a bunt. And it was placed perfectly, kind of there in no man's land in the infield. Barker came charging in just a little bit late. And now we're going to get a mound visit by Emily Vincent, the pitching coach in her first year here at UNLV. This is the farthest Boise State has got a runner on the base paths today with Mayer at second. They'll have one of their best hitters in the lineup, Rebecca Cervantes, who's 0 for 2 on the day. She's flown out to Miranda Bueno in both plate appearances. With runners on this year, she's a 405 hitter with runners in scoring position, 414. It's just the second hit of the ball game for Boise State. And Bressler will try to work her magic like she did in Friday night's win, where Boise State had a multitude of base runners, but just couldn't get the timely hitting. McKay is on deck. Nobody out. 1-0 UNLV on top here in the top of the 6th. A rubber match in this series as bunt is shown. Ball is dropped by Vollmer, but Diaz was heading on over to third with the bunt placed down, so Mayer just testing the patience of Vollmer behind the plate. 0-1 is the count. Boise State going for the small ball here. Even with the great bat of Cervantes. That one's placed down perfectly. Bressler will fire it on over to first with Federi covering. So Cervantes does her job well. Puts runners on second and third with 1 out for McKay. Jessica McKay is 0 for 2 on the day. Average right now sitting at .333. Mayer at third, Wade at second. So base hit here could score Wade because she has that speed. First pitch is taken high for a ball, 1-0. McKay with runners in scoring position this year, a .333 hitter. Boise State has not registered a bat with that Cervantes bunt with runners in scoring position today, as that one is fouled back. 1-1 is the count. Allison Sang is on deck for the Broncos. Pitchers duel here at Eller Media Stadium. 1-0. UNLV on top. They scored that run in the 5th inning off an RBI single by Kylie Harrison, who came off the bench, and pitch hit for Vollmer. Scored Miranda Bueno. The 1-1. Outside, 2-1. Bressler, through 12 innings of work so far, has only given up 1 run against this really good Boise State lineup. As the next pitch is going to be popped up. Barker giving chase, and she's got it. Runner's tagging. No, the runner did not tag. Who's surprised there by Mayer not going. It would have been a tough throw for Barker because she caught that over her shoulder, and that is a big out number 2. And the first baseman, Sang, will be up to bat. Boise State will need a 2-out hit. They haven't got one so far today. They're 0 for 5. This inning started with a hit batter. Serena Hutchinson got on base for the second time. She was pitch run for. Mayer ran for her. She's over at third. Wade then got the infield single as that pitch is outside for a ball 1-0. On the year with 2 outs, Sang is just 280. Both runners in scoring position, an impressive 419. Opponents against Bressler are hitting 269, and obviously we just mentioned today Boise State is 0 for 5. The 1-0. Check swing. Not close to going around. 2-0 is the count as Adams is on deck for the Broncos. As we mentioned, in the bottom of the 6, it'll be the 4, 5, and 6 hitters, Trejo, Armendariz, and Diaz. For UNLV, will try to, if Bressler can get out of this inning, get some insurance run for the true freshman, as that one is fouled back. Good cut by Sang, but just underneath it. 2-1. Two outs in the inning. Boise State held scoreless so far, just 2 hits through 5 2/3 innings. The 2-1. And there's a drive to left, but Miranda Bueno has it. Only had to move a couple steps, and that will end the inning as Jenny Bressler gets out of a jam. Boise State had runners on second and third with 1 out, but couldn't get anything across the board. We head to the bottom of the 6. UNLV on top, 1-0 here at Eller Media Stadium. Back here live at Eller Media Stadium, bottom of the 6th inning. UNLV on top, 1-0. UNLV trying to get some insurance runs here with Mia Trejo leading the way. Trejo is 1 for 2 on the day as the first pitch is taken outside for a ball 1-0. Gianna Mancha back out for her 6th inning of work. Has been good so far. Has given up the 1 run, but she hasn't gotten help from her team. They had a great opportunity in the top of the 6. Runners on second and third with 1 out as that pitch is in there for a strike, but kind of a questionable call. A foul ball near the fence past the third base bag. Mayer over at third did not try to run. And Boise State then lined out to Miranda Bueno as Trejo will send this one to left, right on a line to McKay. Good hit there by Trejo, but unfortunately right to the defense. 1 out here in the bottom of the 6th. Denise Armendariz will be up to bat. She's 1 for 2 on the day. A single in the second inning, and then fouled out to the left fielder McKay in the fourth inning. UNLV 5 hits in the ball game. First pitch is taken for a ball, 1-0. Boise State today as a team 2 for 19, 105 batting average. UNLV at 5 for 20, 250 batting average. As the 1-0. Taken outside for a ball, 2-0. Due up in the top of the 7th for Boise State will be the 5, 6, and 7 hitters, Adams, Fillmore, and Johnson. The 2-0 from Mancha is in there for a strike, 2-1. Samantha Diaz on deck for the Rebels, the 2-1. Inside almost hit Armendariz, but able to get the leg back. 3-1 is the count, 1 out in the inning. UNLV has gotten 2 runners on due to walks, and that was in that bottom of the 5th inning by Raina Bondi and Lauren Tixon. The 3-1. Armendariz sends this one into shallow center field. Coming on in is Wade. She has it. 2 lineouts here in the bottom of the 6th. 1 to left, 1 to center. And Samantha Diaz will be up to bat. Diaz 0 for 1 on the day. She struck out in her first plate appearance and then was pitch hit for her next go around in that 5th inning. Diaz has not registered a hit in this series so far. 0 for 7 with 4 strikeouts. As she swings at the first pitch and sends it foul out of play. Unfortunately for Diaz, she was maybe about a foot away from a solo shot in yesterday's loss. Oh, 1 is count, 2 outs in the inning. UNLV 1 for 5 with 2 outs today. That one hit might be the difference maker. Kylie Harrison's single in the bottom half of the 5th inning. 0-2 is the count after the foul ball by Diaz. This year, Diaz 348 with 2 outs. The 0-2. That one is fouled back out of play yet again. Miranda Bueno on deck for UNLV. Jenny Bressler will head on out for her 7th inning of work and trying to limit in 2 starts 1 run to this Boise State team. It'd be a big series win for UNLV. Boise State, the 24th ranked team in the country coming into this game as Diaz golfs that one foul. UNLV, as we mentioned, will be on the road against Utah State. Their record right now 9-12, 1-1 in conference play. Be on the road at Logan, Utah, as that pitch is going to be taken high for a ball, 1-2. The 1-2 from Mancha as Diaz sends a drive into the gap. That ball is going to the wall. Samantha Diaz has her first hit of the series, and it's a 2-out double. The 6th hit of the ball game for UNLV. Their 2nd double of the game. Good contact by the sophomore shortstop for UNLV. Sent that one into the gap in the left center field, and Miranda Bueno will be up to bat. Bueno is 1 for 2 on the day. She singled in her last plate appearance and came around to score the lone run of the ball game. UNLV, they can get a insurance run here. It'll be big with the way Jenny Bressler has been pitching. Bueno will be up to bat. Mentioned 1 for 2 with 2 outs this year, a 286 hitter. First pitch is taken for a strike, 0-1 with runners in scoring position. Bueno, 429. Barker is on deck if Bueno can keep this inning alive. The lone senior in this lineup for UNLV. The 0-1. Inside, good stop there by Hutchinson to deny the ball from going to the backstop. One is the count. 2 outs in the inning. The pitch. Bueno gets a good rip into that one off the light pole. But unfortunately, light pole is out of place, so it's 1-2, 2 outs. Diaz at second. UNLV looking for win number 21 on the year. They had 33 last year and advanced deep into the NICS postseason tournament. They got to the regional finals. That was hosted here at Eller Media Stadium. The 1-2 pitch outside, 2-2. UNLV would love to one-up that and have a chance to go to the NCAA tournament. Something that hasn't been accomplished in a while. The 2-2. Bueno gets a charge in that one down the left field line, but foul. If she could have kept it straight, that would have been a 2-run home run, but just out in front. She's getting good contact, but unable to keep it in play. Still 2-2 is the count. Diaz at second. Boise State, as we mentioned, will have the 5, 6, and 7 hitters due up in the top of the 7th. They're combined 1 for 6 on the day. The 2-2. High chop is going to be a tough play. The throw to first is not in time. Bueno is able to leg it out. Molina had to get it on the hop. Bueno's got some speed to her, and she legs out her second hit of the ball game, an infield single. Puts runners on the corners here with 2 outs for the freshman third baseman, Lauren Barker. Barker's 0 for 2 on the day. She grounded out to second in her first plate appearance and then flew out to left in her second plate appearance. Barker is sitting at 236, also has not registered a hit in this series. She's 0 for 7. Maybe can break the little bit of a slump like Samantha Diaz did early on in this inning. The first pitch, taken low. Julia Vollmer is on deck, and I wonder if Barker can get on with Diaz still at third. Does head coach Christy Fox bring back Kylie Harrison? The 1-0. That's a little dribbler to short. Cervantes has it. Throw over to first in time, and that will end the inning. UNLV gets runners on the corners, but nothing across the board. We head to the top of the 7th. Last chance for Boise State. They trail this one 1-0 here at Eller Media Stadium. last chance for Boise State to at least tie this ball game. They're trailing this one 1-0 against UNLV. Jenny Bressler back out for her 7th inning of work. The stat line so far, 6 innings, 2 hits, no runs, no earned, 1 walk, and 2 strikeouts. The ERA is down to 1.64 as Adams will be up to bat. Adams swings at the first pitch, and it's going to be an easy out over to Tixon. 1 pitch, 1 out, and that's what UNLV would likes to see right there. Adams, who had 1 of the 2 hits for Boise State, is retired, and Fillmore will be up to bat. Fillmore is 0 for 2 on the day. She flew out to left in her first plate appearance and then switched it over. She flew out to right in her second plate appearance. Her average right now at a solid 300, and the first pitch from Bressler is going to be taken low for a ball, 1-0. UNLV took the first game 8-1 on Friday night. Then Saturday late afternoon, Boise State run-ruled UNLV, the worst defeat UNLV has had all year long. Lost 11-2, but Rebels coming back with a great performance today by their freshman ace. Last pitch is in there for a strike, 1-1. 1 out in the inning. Johnson is on deck for the Broncos. The 1-1. High, 2-1. Bressler, as we mentioned, trying to limit Boise State to 1 run in 14 innings of work. 2-1 is outside 3-1. She came in 12-2 on the year. 1 save. Not only could be in the running for freshman of the year, could be in the running for pitcher of the year. The 3-1. Big swing and a miss there. Count goes full, 3-2. There's 2 strikeouts today for Bressler, trying to get the third. Johnson is on deck, and if they can extend it, Molina is in the hole. The 3-2. Just fouled back by Fillmore. An update on UNLV baseball. They've had rough 2 days, losing in the 9th inning 2-1 against San Jose State on Friday. Lost a 1-run game 6-5 yesterday. They're up 6-3, trying to at least get 1 game out of it. As there's a drive to center field, this ball has a chance. Tixon going back, and as it dies out on the warning track, Fillmore with a good ride into that one, but not enough. 2 outs now here in the top of the 7th. Tixon has recorded both outs here in the 7th inning. Looks like we're going to get a pitch hitter here for Johnson. Johnson's 0 for 2 and about a 255 average. And I believe it is going to be Morgan Lamb, who made a start on Friday night. Lamb, 375 average, 12 hits and 32 plate appearances. 2 home runs to her name, 4 RBIs. With 2 outs, she's a 231 hitter. She'll take the first pitch for a ball, 1-0. Molina on deck if Lamb can keep this inning alive. The 1-0. Outside, 2-0. Only 1 walk on the day for Bressler. That came against Serena Hutchinson in the 3rd inning. The 2-0. On the inside for a strike, 2-1. Boise State 2 for 21 as a team today. .095 average. With runners on, just 1 for 7. They've only had 2 chances with runners in scoring position. 0 for 2. As the 2-1 is fouled back, 2-2. Last strike for Boise State. And you kind of think the what if. The Broncos got runners on 2nd and 3rd in that 6th inning. A pop up to Lauren Baker near the fence behind the 3rd base bag. Mayer over at 3rd did not try to run. As the 2-2 pitch is a drive to left field. It will stay in play. Miranda Bueno has it, and UNLV takes 2 out of 3 against the 24th ranked team in the country, Boise State. They win it 1-0. The Rebels improved to 21-6 on the year, 2-1 in conference play, while Boise State falls to 19-4, 1-2 in conference play. A big series win for UNLV as they have now taken back-to-back series against the Broncos after taking 2 out of 3 last year up in Boise. This UNLV team has been red hot. Had a great non-conference, and they keep it going here today. Jenny Bressler with a fantastic performance. Gets both wins for UNLV and picks up the win today. 13-2 is her record. She went 7 innings, gave up 2 hits, no runs, no earned, 1 walk, and 2 strikeouts. She faced 25 batters, got 15 flyouts and 4 groundouts. Was just fantastic today. So we mentioned limiting Boise State in her 2 starts to just 1 run off of 11 hits. Jenny Bressler takes the win. Gianna Mancha, who had a decent performance as well, can't dwell on that. Her past 2 games have been fantastic. She limited UNLV to 3 runs in her 2 starts, but unfortunately for today, the bats were not as active as they were yesterday. Mancha takes the defeat as she falls to 8-2 on the year. She went 6 innings, gave up 7 hits, 1 run, 1 earned, 2 walks, and 1 strikeout. She faced 26 batters, gave up 2 walks, forced 9 flyouts, and 7 ground outs. The star player today for UNLV, Kylie Harrison, coming off the bench, hit an RBI single that scored Miranda Bueno, who finished 2 for 3 on the day. Reina Bondi and Samantha Diaz both finished 1 for 2 with a double. So we thank everyone for joining us here today. A big series victory for UNLV over the number 24th ranked team in the country, Boise State. The Rebels will be on the road for the next 2 weekends against Utah State and San Diego State before coming back here at Eller Media Stadium April 5th to the 7th against Fresno State. That game will be called on the Mount West Network on Stadium. Big series win for UNLV. As we mentioned, Boise State, they'll head for a midweek matchup against Harvard and Loyola Marymount before starting their home slate in conference play against San Diego State March 22nd through the 24th. So UNLV takes this one 1-0 and improves to 21-6 on the year, 2-1 in conference play. Thank you all for joining us here today. I'm Wyatt Tomczyk signing off and wishing everyone a good afternoon.